What is up, Budget Billies? My name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your fourth stimulus check update and your stimulus package update for Tuesday, April the 27th. Good morning, everyone, and I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. And if you're not doing so hot today, here is a little bit of inspiration for you. It could be worse. Okay guys, today we have some breaking news to share with you regarding the fourth stimulus package, or should I say two packages. We have part 1 and part 2 of the infrastructure bill. Part 1 is called the American Jobs Plan and part 2 is allegedly called the Americans Families Plan. Part 1 is reportedly worth $2.3 trillion and part 2 is around $1.8 trillion. This is a lot of money, guys, a lot of spending under the Biden administration. But of course, there is a great reason for it, right? Because he is dealing with the greatest pandemic of all time that has literally shut this country down to a halt. So many people lost their jobs, so many people lost loved ones, which is the biggest one of them all, and a lot of people have either lost or in the process of losing their homes and or their jobs. But we have had 3 stimulus checks so far from the government totaling about $3,200 per individual, and we are on the verge of receiving 1 or 2 more stimulus checks as well. These are projected to be around $2,000 for a one-time payment, as well as $1,000 monthly payments until the pandemic is over. But sometime this week, President Biden is expected to release the details in part 2 of the infrastructure bill, or the Americans Families Plan. We sort of have an idea of what this bill will include, such as a few things he promised on the campaign trail, such as childcare, paid family leave, free college tuition, and all of this will be funded from his proposed tax hikes. We also know that he has an anti-poverty initiative that he wants to include in the plan as well that would get half of millions of Americans above the poverty line, which is going to be very hard, I must say, but you have to start somewhere, right? So, real quick before we get started, if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, crypto, Bitcoin, and stimulus update news. So, if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to go ahead and hit the like button for me. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So, do you guys remember my previous video where I talked about those summer stimulus checks that are coming this July? Those are for the child tax credit, where individuals with children will receive their tax credit in advance on a monthly basis. If you have children under the age of 6 years old, you would receive $300 per child per month until the end of the year. And if you have children between 6 and 17 years old, you would receive $250 per child per month until the end of this year as well. These summer stimulus checks used to come in the form of a tax credit when you filed your taxes, but most people probably never really saw a benefit because it was nothing that was tangibly that you could hold in your hands. It was just played as part of your final tax return with the IRS. But because of the pandemic and the third stimulus package bill that was signed by President Biden in March, they've implemented provisions that would allow you to get that tax credit in advance in the form of a monthly stimulus check. Well, the Democrats are now trying to make these $300 monthly checks permanent going forward. Congressman Rosa DeLauro said that
we must use this moment to pass the American Family Act and permanently expand and improve the child tax credit by increasing the benefit to families and providing payments monthly. Children and families must be able to count on this benefit long after the end of this pandemic.
The Democrats are pressuring Biden to extend this program permanently in the American Families Plan. But Biden said that he doesn't want to do that just yet. Biden is proposing to have this program temporarily extended through 2025, which would cost about $400 billion. Experts say that this program would benefit about 90% of families and that implementing it would halve the country's child poverty rate. And that's a very big number. So many people with children are going to benefit from this immediately. The extra income is needed for more than just those with children, which is my next topic that I want to talk about. I want to address my seniors and Social Security recipients that watch my videos. I've been reading your comments and I hear you. Yes, I know you probably don't have children under the age of 17 years old, so it feels like y'all are being left behind once again. So I totally get it. That's why I myself am hoping and pushing for Congress and the Biden administration, as if he has any power to do that, to stand strong on his word that he would increase the Social Security benefits by $200 per month. You are not forgotten, guys. I promise you. I hear you. I read your comments, and you are my biggest focus on this channel. But you already know who we are dealing with, these people. Please forgive them. That's why all these politicians need to be replaced with some new younger faces. And the reason I say that it needs to be younger faces is because our new generation growing up today actually care about this country and care about other people. These old politicians only care about their pocketbooks. And if you don't believe me, just go ahead and research it yourself. It's in plain sight. They are not trying to hide it whatsoever, guys. But yes, I am fighting for you, and I hear you, and I promise you they're going to do something. Anyways, I'm so glad I got that off my chest. Now, I mentioned how part 2 of the infrastructure plan is called the American Families Plan, but some Democrats are referring to it as the Anti-Poverty Plan. Now, why would they call it that, you ask? Well, this part 2 of the infrastructure package, its main goal is to help the American people, which means more stimulus checks, unemployment benefits extensions, more government assistance, more stimulus aid for struggling families, and even more SNAP food stamp benefits. Everything that you could possibly think of that would help out families like yours and mine. Those are what we can expect to see in this stimulus package. But we really don't know the exact details until President Biden unveils the details later this week, we hope. But depending on what's in that bill, the Democrats are tired of seeing these short-term or short-lived items as we have seen in the past with the previous stimulus packages. The Democrats are calling for these provisions to be permanent. They are pressuring Biden to make certain provisions that help the American people or struggling families to be more permanent. No more of these benefits being good for 3 months and need another extension, such as the eviction moratorium, the unemployment benefits, and all of those things, as well as the stimulus checks. They want the stimulus checks to be permanent. They want them to be reoccurring monthly checks. They want unemployment to be extended permanently until a year after the pandemic is over. This is what the Democrats want. But what do the Republicans want? Well, we don't really know. But what are the odds of this actually happening? I would think that it is highly unlikely. No way anything permanent is going to pass in the Senate or have any sort of bipartisan support. And frankly, I don't think majority of Democrats would actually vote for the permanent provisions as well. That would be just like giving away money on a constant basis to everyone, which at some point Americans shouldn't really need stimulus checks anymore. We don't want the American people to get addicted to a stimulus checks and feel that they no longer need to return back to work. That's not the purpose of it, but it can create that type of atmosphere, which is what we don't want, right, guys? But what do you guys think? Do you think that making provisions that help the American people permanently is a good thing instead of making them temporarily only during the pandemic? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. And last but not least, in the world of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency news, over the weekend, cryptocurrencies continue to drill downward from the news that broke last week on the new regulations towards crypto, as well as the rumor from the Biden administration on the capital gains tax increase. Bitcoin alone ended up losing about $200 billion in just one day after a rumor regarding President Biden expected to raise long-term capital gains tax for the wealthiest of Americans to 43.4%. Recently, Bitcoin hit an all-time high of above $64,000 before retreating down 27% from the all-time high. And that happened in a matter of 7 days, which means this thing is very volatile. So if you're already invested in Bitcoin or you plan on investing in it, you don't really want to watch this thing move all day long, guys. It's going to cause you to pull out your hair. I promise you. If you do follow Bitcoin, you can see that it's been following the downward trend line for a few days and dropped all the way down to make or the break area, almost near the 100-day moving average, in which on Sunday night, Bitcoin decided to make a sharp drop and then it bounced all the way back to $54,000 on Monday morning. Like I said, guys, it's a very volatile stock or a cryptocurrency. Now, if you're interested in Bitcoin, the way to play this is to continue to buy down on those types of drops or those pullbacks if you are really long-term and planned on holding it for the long-term investment. And let's face it, there is no way to time exactly the right time or the point to actually jump in or to jump out of crypto. You need to just have a plan in place on how often that you want to buy down and then pull the trigger. Or you can just set your crypto account to automatically buy down at a certain price point or a price interval, such as every time it drops $1,000, you can set your account to actually buy down every time it drops $1,000. In addition, as you may have already heard, that analysts are expecting Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the end of this year. But don't forget, guys, stocks and or crypto don't always move in a straight line going up. So these types of 20% pullbacks are needed in order for a stock or a cryptocurrency to actually stay healthy, which is why the best option is to continue to buy on pullbacks to cost average your cost basis and to hold for the long haul. Anyways, guys, let me know if you're interested in more videos surrounding Bitcoin and crypto trading. I might start incorporating those videos into the mix of our stimulus videos. If you're interested, hey, let me know down below in the comment section. Anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. This has been another fourth stimulus check update and Bitcoin update for today. If you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.